Good morning, welcome to my Tuesday live stamping. I was just straightening up my camera then. We are a little bit earlier than usual, so I'm not sure if anyone's going to be joining me live because we're bang on school run time. So anyway, there's always the replay, and lots of you do watch the replay. I've had lots of love over on my YouTube channel as well lately, so which is fabulous. So today I'm going to be creating some autumnal projects for you, some cute projects using the Autumn to Remember stamp set, which is on in the new scrapbooking brochure. So please do say hello if you are joining. I can see there is somebody here. Morning, Lucianne, how are you doing? I'm really hoping to get to you at some point today. I've got to head in your direction. Morning, Renee. Good evening. How are we doing? It is miserable here. The weather has gone from a bit of dry and bright sunny to really damp, wet weather today. And chilly. I've got a jumper on today. I am going out and about. It's my daughter's birthday today. So I'm meeting her for a working coffee, and we're going to do a little bit of shopping as well because it's her birthday, but she is one busy girl and she has a lot of work to do. So no rest when you are self-employed. Okay, so without further ado, I'm going to get you down on my desk and we're going to have a look at what I'm going to be creating with this morning. So let's get you down. Get some light on the subject. Wiggle you around a bit. The camera's a bit crooked. Zoom you in. And get rolling. So yeah, very grey, very grim. The weather wasn't quite what it forecast. Might just zoom in a little bit more and pull the light down in a bit. We've got a bit of shading. So the Autumn to Remember stamp set, as I said, is from the scrapbooking brochure, which is new. Morning, Helen, my lovely. How you doing, sweetheart? We've got so much sort of happening today as well. I feel like I'm all upside down, for want of a better phrase. But yes, we've got a new starter kit promotion happening today. So you will get yourself £160 of product for just £99 when you join from today. I printed off the flyer and then forgot to run back over to the house to bring it over. But I have got my iPad here today. We've also got the other great thing of, if you are planning on joining my team this month, we've got pre-order for the new online exclusives that are coming to you as customers in November. So that's super exciting. I did get a sneak peek as I'm leader status. I did get a sneak peek at some of the products, but I've not had a chance to actually look on there this morning to see what else is on there. So I will put all links to anything that I can share, obviously not the pre-order, but for the starter kit promotion and that, I will put links up later. We also have up to 30% off kits, so that's super exciting. And we've had 2 new kits launch as well. I'm just going to grab that page back up on my iPad. So we've had this, what's it called? Airplane kit and a look back kit. You can see we've got the reduced prices here, but this one looks brilliant. It's let's see what the description is, because I've literally had a quick look this morning. Record your memories and worthwhile moments with a look back kit. It includes a variety of pre-cut paper pieces, stickers, paper pockets and other ephemera for you to decorate the spiral bound notebook. And this is what you get included. So that is super exciting. Just think of the possibilities of that. I don't know what the percentage is on that, but it was £24. It's down to £21.60. Then the other new one is the Airplane Air Kit. I've not looked at this one. So, makes 9 cards. We've got stamps included. There are the stamps, which are really good. Look at that. Thinking of you. Hello, friend. Happy birthday. Very general. Good for masculine cards as well. So that one's down to £18.90. And then we also have all of our other gorgeous kits as well. So the Haunted Home kit there, you can see if it's not currently available, it will state, didn't mean to press that it's not available. So yeah, lots and lots of things going on today. So I've probably forgotten something. There is still chance to register for the World Card Making Day free virtual event. That's happening on the 5th, and you can register up until the 4th, I think it is. So there is still time for that too. Right, what do I need? What are we using? So, Autumn to Remember. This is from the scrapbooking kit, as I said. I'm also using this greeting here from the flower cart stamps. Oops, that was something went on the end of my desk. That was my notepad holder. Guys, I'm preparing for my retreat and there's just bits and bobs everywhere, and I'm also going away, so I've got just so many things I'm trying to do. I'm also using the Everyday Greetings stamp set, which is such a good set, really, really good one. So I think I've mounted up what I need. Ink colours, I've got, they're very autumnal, Early Espresso, Cajun Craze, Pecan Pie and Old Olive. Let's just get our grid paper down. I think we're somewhat straight, but I can't be having it moving about, so that will do nicely. So, Old Olive was one of the very first colours that I ever bought from Stampin' Up as well. Little fun fact for you. One of my most favourite greens. So we've got a card to start with. I'm going to whiz through because, as I've said, I am going out and I can't be too late leaving the house. So what we're going to be using today is also, I thought I'd just bring these in quickly. I'm going to be using the papers, what are they called? Autumn, Sweet Days of Autumn. How adorable are these? I'm not sure if I've showed them during one of these lives, but I've definitely shared them over on my stamping community group. And you can look me up. It's called the Simply Pretty Stamping Community Group on Facebook. Anybody can join. There's a couple of questions you need to answer to be let in and able to comment. But it's just a place to share and inspire each other. I do a challenge each month as well. So yeah, I think I might have shared these over on there, but these papers are just adorable. So you get 12 per pack, which is standard, but with this pack you get these 3 sheets that are double-sided. So lovely patterns. These are just adorable. And I'm going to be using these today, which is why I'm sharing them with you. And then I also thought, we also do have the sticker sheet that comes only when you buy a pack of the paper. They come as like a duo. You can't buy the stickers individually. But they're really fabulous. As you can see, I've not used any yet, but I am taking my scrapbooking kits away with me and hoping to do a bit of planning and a bit of creating. So the other thing that is available, aside the stamp set that I'm using today, is the scrapbook workshop kit. And this one I think is £40. So remember, this brochure is digital. I've just printed it off because it's easy for reference. Yes, so it's £40. Let's keep that out because there is so much in this set. I'm just going to peg it down so I can make sure that I'm reeling off everything that's in there. So it creates 3 double-sided layouts. Okay, and you've got all the bits and pieces in here that you need. You've got all your cutting guides, which is absolutely awesome. It tells you which way to cut your papers and on which side, and all the measurements. It's really good, really clever. Just love it. Let's move that bit of paper. I've got bits of paper everywhere. So you get your photo placeholders in here, which are handy for just if maybe you haven't got any photos that you're planning to create a layout with, you can pop these down in place of your photo. But I quite often like to work with a photo when I'm designing. It all depends on the process. So within this pack, we get more of this delicious pattern papers. So we get 2 of each sheet of the double-sided. We also get some single-sided sheets, and we get 4 sheets. So we've got this lovely wood grain. So they're white on the reverse. And then this lovely stripe. And this pecan pie, I would say, with a bit of petal pink through the background sheet. I'm going to have to pull some of this out now because it's going to get stuck. Right, just bear with me. Gonna get in a pickle. Let's move those out of the way. So we got to the papers. Then you get your sticker sheet. So the one that I showed you comes in that pack as well. We get some 2-tone cardstock. So we've got 2 of Old Olive, 2 of Petal Pink. So you can see hopefully the tone or the difference in colours. It is tricky doing it under camera. And then 2 of the crushed curry. So we also get some white willow. We get 2 sheets of that as well, which is fabulous. And then we get these lovely like die cut sheets. They're pre-cut. So we've got, this is a pre-cut, well, there's 2 actually, and all the bits and pieces are going to fall out, but how sweet. Let's turn it around that way. How sweet are these images? So perfect for scrapbooking, but you would find many other uses for these as well. And then we've got this one here. So they're calling these ephemera sheets. And then we also get this gorgeous pre-cut sheet, which is, morning Shaz, how are you doing? Good evening, I should say. It's a bad habit to say good morning. These are absolutely adorable. I can't describe what material they're made of, but they're kind of thick, like as if they were several sheets of cardstock stuck together, but they've got this gorgeous wood grain effect. They are delicious. So I'm super excited to create with those. Not using them today. They are going away with me so that I get some playtime. So let's move that out of the way. So just running through everything that's available in that workshop kit. So it's sometimes good just to have a look, isn't it, and see what's inside. Right, I really need to get a wriggle on. Let's get going with our first card. So, no surprise, we've got a basic white layer. Not even got all my bits and pieces out really. So 8 1/4 by 5 3/4, and we're just going to crease that one down the middle. And then we've got some other bits and pieces here. I've got some pieces of the 2-tone cardstock and a little strip of the Cajun Craze with the Old Olive from the DSP pack. And I also need to do some die cutting. So let's do that first. So my trusty Spotlight on Nature dies, which I just cannot put to one side. I think we want this one here. So we'll run that through. So what have you all been up to? What's been happening? We just seem to have had a really busy couple of weeks. I'm just going to run this one through. Oh, that was close. Just caught the edge of it. As I moved it over, it moved. So I think we are good. Now, because my bottom plate is so well loved, quite often the pieces stick in here. So you just need to get something, and usually I use the other plate and just scrape them off, because you don't want them on there for your next die cutting. If you put something on top of those pieces and run it through, it will leave marks on it. So good morning, Belle, how are you? You're just going out in the rain with Molly. Okay, be nice to have you catch up later. Enjoy your lovely walk. You can't beat a walk in the rain. It's okay, isn't it? If you've got the right gear on, makes all the difference. So I need some old olive, some Cajun craze, and some pecan pie. I need some scrap white, which I am desperately running low on, of white cardstock. That might be enough for what we need. And I've mounted up some of my stamps, and I'm just realising that I need the lovely maple leaf as well. Oops. So we'll just pop that one on a block. Helen, you're fostering a lurcher. You've been busy attending her every need. Oh, bless you. Is she settling in okay? How's she doing? Right, open up these ink pads and get going. That is not good for my wrist, my hand doing that. I have to be careful. Right, so look at the detail on here. Hi, Vicky. How are you doing? Hope all is good with you. Right, that was probably too much ink. I gave it a real jolly good tap, and I've re-inked a lot of my ink pads. So this might look a bit of a hot, yeah, it's going to, a hot blodgy mess. Can you see that? So this stamp, it's a good example actually. This stamp, let's just clean it off, is kind of a bit like the distinctive style. Let's get a bit of blotting paper as well. And basically, you do not need a lot of ink on there. Right, that's quite wet because I've just done it on put a wet wipe over it. So we're just going to gently tap and have a look. That's still quite a lot on there. What I might do is grab another block and just pull away some ink from this area of my ink pad. Clean that stamp again. Take the majority off. These wet wipes are very wet. I know that's what they say they're supposed to be, and I'm just going to gently tap on the surface. That looks much better. Can you see the amount of ink on there? That's much better. See, that's how it should look. So literally I had too much ink on it, but look at you probably can't see it as well as I can, but the texture in there is absolutely beautiful. So the same goes for these stamps and for this stamp as well. They have that like distinctive, do we call it? Is that the right word? Right, I also need one of these leaves in Old Olive. I need one of these, so this is another distinctive. This is the trouble when you re-ink your stamp pads. you get too much ink on them. So it's trying to find the balance. Right, we need a bit of Cajun craze. Oh, Helen, she's curled up beside you. Bless you. Vicky, you're having a lovely spring day in Sydney. Oh, I'm jealous. I just love spring. I love spring. Right, Cajun craze. I'm going to ink this one up. I'm going to stamp it off because I want second generation like that, which gives us like this lovely rusty colour. Right, that's our bit of inking done for now. I'm going to put all of these to one side. Oh, my wrist. This is, I can't actually close this one. I haven't got the grip, that's it. And I got all ink on me. Right, so that's our stamping bits that we want. We'll get rid of that one because that is just not good. But I'm kind of glad that that happened, because if you bought a stamp set like this that has these types of stamps in and you stamp that, you'd think there would be something wrong with it. But it does just go to show that it's just getting the right amount of ink on there. Right, we need to cut these out. So sadly, there are no dies that go with these. I might have some of these cut already, actually. Let's have a look. I've got those two. Yeah, there are no dies that go with them. So if you're not a fussy cutter, then, or a fan of fussy cutting, you'll be probably doing some single layer stamping where you don't have to cut things out. Right, just trimming around here. It's definitely an autumnal day here. The temperatures have dropped. The leaves. Do I need to tell you about the leaves? Oh, it's just the worst time of the year for us in the garden. So many trees, so many leaves, and it's just constantly trying to keep on top of getting them up. You can't just leave them down, it's too many. Does anybody remember the maple single stamp we had? It was on a woody block. Anybody remember that one? I still have mine. But this reminds me of that stamp. Absolutely gorgeous. You know, this set is, I kind of look at it and think cutesy because of the DSP that goes with it, the pattern papers. And I look at it and just think baby cards, young children cards. But in all honesty, it's such a good man set. You know, trees and leaves are so handy for the masculine projects we need to create. And especially like for photographs for scrapbooking that we take in this time of the year where we're wearing, like, well, if you like me, although my wardrobe is pretty neutral all the way through the year, so we can't go on my colour palette, but these are kind of very like autumnal colours, like chocolate chip, I would say, is very in that kind of colour at the moment. Do you remember chocolate chip? So in fact, chocolate chip reminds me of the reverse side of the early espresso two-tone cardstock that we've got. Okay, so we've got some bits and pieces cut out. We need to do a greeting or a sentiment, however we like to call it. Let's find another scrap. Look at my scrap bag. This is all I have in there. I do have some wider bits actually. Let's find, got a whole bag of wider pieces. And let's pull out the thank you. Another block. Good job I have a ton. That one's not very clean. Got adhesive on it. So we've got this lovely scripty greeting. So we're going to stamp that in early espresso, which is very dark. It's a very dark brown. Then we're going to grab our pecan pie, and I've pulled out a little splat stamp. This is actually snow. It's from the Snowy Wonder set. This one here, which I've still yet to play with. I've only used the greetings. Maybe I'll take it away with me and take some inks and have a little play with it. But it's this snowy stamp here, but it's great for like splatting. You know how important it is to have a splat stamp within your supplies. Right, so we're going to lay down this leaf because I just want to put some splats like where around the outside of the leaf. So we'll put one here, and this is an example of a stamp where you have to press really gently. When I've used it, I'll show you what happens if you don't. You can already see like there's ink on that bit there. I'll put another one down there. Right, I'll show you an example of what happens about if you apply too much pressure to very delicate stamps. So I haven't really put that much ink on there, but can you see the whole of the background is covered? Then if you go and stamp it down and press really hard, look at what you get, which is a whole nother new splat, which could be useful for some of your projects, but not for this particular one. So I've just created a bit of splattage behind where my leaf is going to sit. We need to cut the greeting out. We also need, let's put that away, to do a little bit of embossing. And we've got a few embossing folders that I feel work well with these autumnal kind of products. And that's the birchwood, which is the new one from the mini catalogue, which is huge. Or we've also got the timber, which is in our annual catalogue. And that's the one I'm going to be using today. So I've just got a square rectangle even of cardstock measuring 2 7/8 by 4 1/8, 4 1/8 being the magic number, because it's half of the width of our A4 cardstock here in the UK. So run this one through. Super sniffy as well, still. Super sniffy. Look at that. Gorgeous. There's a couple of you hopped on. If you're joining, please do say hello. Right, also what we could do with the two-tone, I've just bought myself some sanding blocks. So I thought we could maybe have a go at doing a little bit of sanding to take some of this off, just to show you. I have been using a nail file, but we'll have a go with one of these blocks. I don't know whether they're going to be a bit coarse. We will have to see. Right, the other thing we need to pull out, it's really hard with pattern paper, isn't it? Like, I really didn't want to cut that side into it like this, but I really need a lot of the images that are on here. So I need this gorgeous little deer. I'm very careful how I cut things out as well, because there are so many elements on here that can still be cut out. So let's just trim around this one as close as we can, just leaving a little border. Let's try not to chop any noses or ears off. Oops. So I did make a card recently. One of Sophie's friends had a little baby girl and they called her Autumn. I've probably got a picture of the card that I made, but I used this set, and also I personalised the card using this word here. Like, it couldn't have been more perfect, really, could it? So, and I think I put one of these deers on. Trim around. Like we said, we don't want to chop off any legs. How cute. How cute. Let's just give a little curl, turn those ears up. Right. We can start putting it together. Oh, no, we can't. We need to do this. Now, if you don't really enjoy fussy cutting, because there is quite a bit of fussy cutting involved with my projects today, you could stamp this greeting on a strip of cardstock. You could stamp it and punch it out if you have an oval punch or a rectangle punch or a tab punch. There are many ways around it if you are not a fussy cutting fan. Right. That was a bit of a sharp edge. So it's not perfect, but it's good enough. Right, should we try doing a bit of sanding on here? Where's that scrap gone? So that's the darker side. See what happens. So we can sand off the edges. I usually find that when you've got it in your hand, this works a bit better. So this isn't really that coarse. My nail file would do a much harsher job. To be honest. So, but I guess if you were doing the edges, can you see how you get that white edge? So it's just revealing the inner core. Like that. So we have got, it's probably hard for you to see, but we have got a bit of tone going on there. Bit of two-tone. Right. Let's start laying down. We're going to pop down the embossed piece first. Oh, my Tombo's not going to want to play ball today, is it? Just because. Right, if it does this, there's plenty in there. Take your pick tool, push it down in, and then in that bit that's come out there is a dried up bit of glue that's just blocking everything from coming out. They always confuse me because they go back to front, the screw system on here. And there we go. So it was just a bit of dried up glue. So we're going to pop this one right down in the middle. like so. Make sure it's stuck. Then this is the two-tone Old Olive. This piece measures 3 3/4 by 1 3/8, but basically it could just be scraps. Hi Margaret, how are you doing? Yeah, it's a wet one here as well. It's a bit grim, isn't it? The weatherman said this morning at 6 that it was just, you know, the chance of the odd shower. Well, we've definitely had more than that already, but there we go. Mother Nature, she's got her own mind, hasn't she? So I'm going to lay down this Old Olive piece, sort of just up from the bottom, trying to judge if it's straight or not. And now I'm looking, I think I should have put that one down first, but that is totally fine. It really doesn't matter. I made these cards a little while ago actually, so totally forgotten how I did it. We're going to pop on our circle from the Spotlight in Nature. So this one's going flat down as well. Not adding any dimension just yet. And we're going to overlap it so it comes over the side of our embossed white panel underneath, like that. So this card will just look a little bit different to my original, which is no problem. Next, we're going to lay down our petal pink piece, and I'll give you the measurement of that once I've stuck it, now that I've put glue on it. And we're just going to overlap that at the bottom like that, so that it's going to be popping out underneath. So this measures, it looks like 1 inch by 3 3/8. Then our little strip of DSP. So this is cards like this, I do tend to use up a lot of my scraps. This one is about 3 by 3/4 inch. And we're just going to pop that one and layer that one down on top of that petal pink. So it's just going to hide the bottom of that circle coming down, like so. I really do. I've never been one for Cajun Craze, if I'm totally honest. It's never really been my colour. But I love it with the petal pink, and of course you've got the petal pink bit in here as well. Shall I zoom in a smidge? Just a smidge. And then I've got a little strip, real skinny strip of the early espresso. So we're just going to cut that off at an angle. And pop that down. This is the two-tone as well. So it's, oops. So you can buy a pack of the two-tone 12 by 12 cardstock that goes with the DSP. And you get petal pink. I'd have to look it up properly, but I know you get espresso, you get Old Olive, you get Cajun Craze, but you don't get the crushed curry, which is what you get in the scrapbook kit. Right, so we've just layered all of those up together. Now we're going to add in our leaves. So I'm just going to pop some minis behind this one. I do need to say a really big thank you as well for all the love you've been giving me over on my YouTube channel. I've had a real lot of growth over there lately, so it's really lovely. So thank you everybody for your support. It really does mean a lot. You have all been loving the Yuletide Village as much as me, I think. So we're going to pop our little deer down. Over here. Oh, it's so cute. I mean, this is what makes it cute and turns it from like a masculine card, apart from the petal pink, but you know, You could change that out for something a bit more masculine. You could actually put the Cajun craze here and then use the reverse of this, which is old olive. And obviously without the deer, it would definitely be more masculine. And then we're simply going to pop in the rest of our leaves. So I'm going to put a dimensional on the back and then just a little bit of glue. Oh, Gary, it's only Tuesday and can't even get my words out. Tombow glue, just to anchor the bottom bit down there. I quite often find if you put just like a dimensional and if it's central, it will wiggle a little. It will kind of move from side to side. So you need to anchor it at both ends. Then we'll have, let's put some skinny bits. Not on that one, on, can I get that down there? Maybe I'll keep it flat. Keep it flat because we've already got one layer here. So this is my edge piece. Can you see? I just snip into it for like skinny bits. You've been in the garden, Alfie. I'm going to pop that one just down there. And then the old olive one next to it. Over here. Like that. And just make sure those stick for a minute. And then to finish, we're just going to pop our greeting in. Probably need a skinny strip off of here. You see, you can just cut yourself a really skinny bit of dimensional. So they are valuable. Never throw away that outside piece. Shaz, are you off to bed soon? There we go. Very sweet. Very simple, I would say. Nothing technical. I'm not a technical person, am I? Definitely not a technical person. It does look... Okay, here's my original. Can you see my old olive layer on this one went behind this white layer? So there's definitely a bit more old olive showing. So great for... Obviously I put thank you on there, but great for young person cards. How are we doing for time? I think I'm going to do my little 3D project for you. No, do you know what? I'm going to do the card as well because I know I can do this one super quick. Which will then roll onto my 3D project. Okay, so bits and pieces cut already. And we've got our base. We'll fold in half. And I've pre-embossed my white layer. And this one measures 3 5 by 5 1/4 inches. I'm going to put that to one side. I've also got another piece of the two-tone petal pink cardstock, and this measures 3 1/2 by 3 1/2. And I've cut myself a couple of strips of early espresso, and they are 3 1/4. Doesn't matter about the depth because what we're going to do is just pop them straight behind this layer. Right, which way around does that go? Like that. My tummy's gurgling away. I had an early breakfast this morning, which is so out of routine for me because I'm going out straight from my live. So I'm just layering these together just so we've got a bit of the espresso popping out either side at the top and the bottom of this piece. So it kind of is giving the appearance that there's a whole layer of cardstock behind here. But obviously we don't need to do that because nobody knows what's underneath there. Should we do a little bit of sanding? I should have done it on my scrap piece. It's not going to really show much. It only really shows up in real life. If I show you what my nail file does, because I'm kind of like pushing against the cardstock, you can really get, can you see that? You can really get the core showing through, which I think is just lovely. Let's get rid of all those dusty bits. Right, so we've got this part. We've got a piece of, look, I had to sacrifice some animals. A piece of the tree side of the paper, which measures 3 inches by 2 3/8. And then I've got a little bit here that I'm going to stamp on. I need my old olive ink. My early espresso. And then I've mounted up this trio of trees. And I'm going to gently tap. Now, can you see that? Looks quite blotchy around the outside, but we'll go with it. I'm just going to stamp those down, roughly near the bottom. Won't press too hard. So I don't mind that. That's a little bit blotchy over to the left, but I don't mind that. And then while we've got our mat, we'll do some greetings. So we'll pull out the birthday. And then the happiest birthday to you from the flower cart set. Let's just get rid of that thank you one and put that back in. Use that block, otherwise I'm just going to have blocks everywhere. And we'll just mount up. So we've got the happiest birthday to you. Got all wet wipe around there. And all I want from this one, I've just inked up the word happiest. Skinny strip from the scrap bag. That didn't work. Didn't quite put enough pressure on. So we've just got the word happiest that we can trim out. Then, let's just pull that one off. We'll have the word birthday. Can't believe my daughter is 28 today. And my grandson Luca was 2 yesterday. Where does the time go? Right, just snip off the ends. And then that's all the stamping we need. So we're going to do those up and start layering together. So we've got those put together already. We're going to add in our DSP. This is another really quick card. I'm going to pop that up at the top right corner. Make sure that's lined up. So just got that up at the top. And then our little trio of trees, I'm going to put down at the bottom left, just up from the bottom. like that. Looks a bit odd at the minute. We can now mount that onto our wood grain layer. With me, it's just layer on layer on layer. Just can't help myself, can I? Just love the layers. So I'm looking to try and have it equal centrally, top to bottom, and left to right as well. We're going over a smidge. Let's get that down on there. Remember, when you've got an embossed layer, you need to make sure it's down there and it's not going to move, because the glue has to get over the ridges of what you've embossed. So this timber embossing folder is a really good all-round one as well. You know, masculine, baby cards, anything, wedding, just love it. Right, just to get that bit of glue off that's trying to escape. So we've just layered it all up. So it's still quite flat, but kind of layered. And then what we need is this little chap that I cut out earlier. And we also need this fella here. If you actually sit and study this DSP, look at all the cute leaves and things that you can cut out. I'm the kind of person that would just be quite happy to sit down with my scissors and the whole sheet and just cut everything out and then pop it in a little pot. That would just bring me so much joy. I know for some of you that would be your worst nightmare. You don't really enjoy cutting, but don't need to go up through his feet. Okay. Very cute. What is he? What do you think he actually is? I kind of want to say he's a bear because of his nose, but he's got spikes on his back. Let's have a vote. What do we think it is? If you're catching me on YouTube, you can leave your response in the comments. Right, I'm going to pop some dimensionals behind there. Right, I'm going to put some more because he's going to rock. He's going to be rocking and rolling if we don't balance him out. I'm going to pop him down here. Oh, we've got a sharp edge, a rough edge even. In a bit. And then a little bird, we'll just pop one behind there. Just poking out the ends. I'm just going to move it in. Oh, so cute. So cute. We always need young people cards, don't we, as well? I'm going to pop my greeting, both of them on dimensionals as well. Might need two under there. Peel those off. Oh, more fingers and thumbs today. And we'll pop the birthday. Let's put it straight so we don't have to peel it and lift it. And we'll put the happiest just above. And there we go. Really simple. Layer on layer, but still quite flat. Card number 2. I'm trying not to sniff. It's not easy. Right, final project, and then I have really got to run. It's gift card season, guys. It's gift card season. Where have I got 2 pieces? Let's check that they are the right length. So we have got a piece of basic white cardstock. It measures 5 3/4 by 8 1/8. So it's half of a sheet of A4 cardstock here in the UK. I'm going to put it in my scoreboard. It's landscape, and we're going to score at 4 inches and 4 1/8. And then I'm going to turn it portrait and score it at 2 7/8. So we have a line down here and then 2 score lines very close to each other. There. No, I don't seem to have a template. I'm just grabbing my other trimmer, which is in my pile of stuff to take away with me. And now I need this trimmer because I have to do some specific chopping that's just easier to do on here than we could do it with scissors, but it would look it looks much neater if we don't. So can I remember how I did this? Because I haven't made myself a template. I think I need to chop. I'm going to put it in landscape, and then we're going to cut on. We've got 2 lines. Can you see? Not sure if you can see. We've got 2 score lines here. Trying to find the light. I'm going to cut on the second one. I'm going to line it in my trimmer, and then I'm going to cut down to this first score line. So if I line up my cutting blade where that line is and then go up, then I'm going to put it in portrait. That wasn't very straight, Kerry. Should have paid attention to that. Then I'm going to pop it in, and I think I've cut 2 just in case I did it wrong. Put it in portrait, so we've got that 1 score line down the middle. It's so hard to show on white. Let me cut it, and then it'll be easier for you to see. I might have to trim up with my scissors. So I'm going to go back to where I did that cut there on that second line, and then just take out that whole corner panel. We're going racing, Belle, yeah. Off to Dijon. So I might just have to snip, just because, can I see it? I've just gone a little bit crooked. So we could have done this with scissors originally. Just need to take that slither out. Perfect. So we end up with this like L shape. So we've got 2 score lines here and then 1 score line across here. So we can start by folding this one. And then I've got 2 score lines close to each other. So using my ruler will help me make sure that I score each one individually. So I'll do 1 first, and then I'm just going to go to that next one, which is an 1/8 across. and do that one. Now, to get this little one, I need to kind of pull it back here. So I want to line this up this side, but I've also got to push it back. So I'm holding that tight and making sure that I get that second score line in so that we end up with that nice little fold. Okie dokie. You love my precision. I'm so OCD, aren't I? Honestly, sometimes I want to give myself a good slap because I annoy myself. Right, enough about my obsessions. We need, what have I got here? 1, 2, 3. I've made enough to do 2 here. 1, 2, 3. That's for my second one. So I've got 3 pieces of petal pink cardstock, all measuring 3 3/4 by 2 5/8. Let's lay these out. I have a piece of DSP measuring 2 inches by 2 5/8. And you need to take a circle punch of some description. I've got my 1 3/4 and I'm just going to take a little notch out of it. I'm going to try and line it in centrally. I'm guesstimating. Not bad. I'll put that back because that's in a little pile for my retreat that's coming up and I don't want to forget it. So we'll do this one first. Now this part is important. We need a very skinny run of Tombow around 3 edges of here because our gift card is going to go in here. So, needs to go right to the edge. If you've got a very thin double-sided tape, that would work, but it needs to be thin because there wasn't much room. There's not much allowance here for our gift card to go in, and because of the size of my project excuse me, now I've got a frog in my throat, because I've made this so we can get 2 from 1 A4 sheet, we were pretty tight on how much allowance we've got for cardstock and for this gift card to go in. So that's one of the panels. The next panel, so we have some basic white pieces that layer inside. Sorry that I'm rushing, I need to go out. I've got to celebrate my daughter's birthday with her, so obviously we're going to be working, but we will do a little bit of shopping as well. So these measure 3 5/8 by 2.5. And I want to stamp the trees on 2 of them. But I'm going to stamp 1 full strength on one of the pieces. We're going to do it full strength, roughly over to the left and up from the bottom. Like that. I've got a bobble on there. And then the next one, so my second generation, I'm just going to get rid of that. Whatever it is. I'll give it a little huff. And then I'm just going to stamp that down on the middle of that piece. How sweet is that? I even like that stamped off version. Right, what is next? So these are all layering onto these pieces. So let's put this one down. Oop. Oh, I did a U then, Belle. Did it? Oh, I love your oopsies. Put glue on myself then. Oh, look, real glue. To get that off with my adhesive remover. And I can't wipe my hands in my trousers. I've got my smart trousers on and they're pale. They're like a light beige, so I can't be rubbing my Tombow fingers in my trousers. You see that little smudge of dried up Tombow? We'll get that in a minute. I've cut some skinny strips of Cajun, is this Cajun Craze? Or, yeah, it's not. This could be copper clay. I've been using copper clay. Scrub a sheet. Yeah, it's copper clay, which blends lovely with this as well. Pecan pie is much more of a browny green, for want of a better colour description. So I'm just snipping a bit off there, and then we'll pop this one down. Just at the bottom of our trees, so they are kind of grounded like that. Got a leaf cut. What else do we need? Need a hodge heg. Little hodge heg. Here's one. Can you see my dilemma of not wanting to cut anything? All these little leaves and things. Look at Mr. Fox, he's cute too. All the little leaves and things can be very useful. Trim around. And this is a wiggly one to trim. We're going to pop a dimensional under there. And lay it over. So I'm hoping that you're going to utilise this idea. So just think of the possibilities of gifting. So I have been focusing a lot on gift cards, gift card holders, I should say. Right, what else do we need? Another bird. Little bird. And let's have this. Little acorn. It's quite cute, but fiddly to cut. Actually not too bad. If you turn that paper when you cut, it just helps you. So I feel like I'm just really concentrating and not talking much today about anything, but it's all this cutting. I do find it hard cutting and talking, which is silly, isn't it? But we had Luca's birthday party at in Cheltenham on Saturday at a soft play. And it's always crazy at soft play. Some of you may be way past the soft play days, but it's part of my life currently. I do like a soft play. I'm going to own up to that one. Some of the slides, oh my goodness, they're quite scary. We went to one a couple of weeks back over in Stroud, and they call it the death slide. So yeah, it's literally like you just drop off the edge. The kids, you know, the kids were just like, come on, Nanny. And I'm sat at the top, I'm scared. But yeah. You know, the one of those ones where you lose your stomach when you go over the edge. They were like that. And there's Evsy going down. She's 4, totally loving life. Right, so we've got some little pieces cut out. How cute are these? Let's do that in cup. I want one more greeting. Might get it out of that other scrap. And I've chosen the hello. Morning, Helen. How you doing, sweetie? Yeah, I had to do that last week with bells. Go back and catch up. Just want to let that dry a minute before I do anything else to it. Right, what am I doing? Oh, I think I also need to stamp in the middle. I do. So let's swap the hello with wishes. Gonna bring this stamped off trio of trees, ink up the birthday, gently, ink up the wishes. Beautiful. Love both of those fonts together. And we can mount those two together. We've had so much rain lately. We've had like lots of flash flooding as well, which has not been ideal. Let's just trim around this one and then we can put it all together. And then I need to dash. So don't forget to have a look on the online store at the kits collections, because we've got reductions of up to 30% off, which is super amazing. I'm going to be doing an order later. I need to get some more bits as well for myself because I'm running low. It's always tricky just getting in that little bit. Like I said, you don't have to fussy cut out words like this. You could simply stamp them and punch them out with something, or die cut them out with a little label. I'm sure you've got lots in your stash. Right, let's move that out of the way. Now I have pulled out some retired ribbon because I have a couple of rolls of it and it just worked beautifully with this project. So I thought, why not use it, you know, use it up. So what we're going to do is where the two panels are, we're going to pop the gift card holder part in the top section. It's a bit off there, but too late now because it's down. Our greeting is going in the one underneath. I'm glad you're feeling brighter, Helen. Bless you. Having to go into hospital is not pleasant. In fact, you came out, didn't you, did you come out Thursday or Friday? And then we were over there with Jason's mum on Friday evening. She was in all day, so all go. Now this, so the reason we have this double like fold is just to allow for it to like go over the edges. Just flattening that edge there. So this panel is going to go on the front. Let's finish off by adding in, I think what I might do is just put a little bit of glue rather than aiming to get Tombow all over me. under. That's it. Join those two up like that. Pop our hello on. We want a really super skinny slither of dimensional. Oops, where did it go? Where did that go? Oh, there it is. Stuck to the other finger. I'm just going to pop it right there, like that. It's going to be hanging a little bit. That one there, and then our little bird can go. See if we can get that on without it hanging over the edge. Up on the tree. And then this one's going on the front, but I thought it'd be nice to have a ribbon closure. So, and I'm just going to do it in a knot. We're not going to have a bow. Cut off plenty. Grab some tear and tape because that's really good for ribbon. I can find the end. I know it is tear and tape, but I don't want to push down on this layer. Right, let's just find the middle, roughly, which is about 1.5. We'll do that on both sides, on the front and the back. And I'm just popping it on my grid paper to roughly find the middle. Okay, so this is the front. We'll do that bit first. So if we take our ribbon and find the center point, which is this bit here, pinch that in our finger, and we know that that's roughly, we're going to have like a rough even overhang, although it does look longer now I'm threading it over. And then we'll just pull that one over as well, stick it down, and then our front piece, put you away. Oh, stuff everywhere. I've been a bit of a messy crafter this morning. Just going to pop some dimensionals in the corners, and then it's easier to guide. I'm putting loads on just because I can. I'm allowed to. I know what you're saying. If I had the bigger ones, maybe I wouldn't need to put as many smaller ones, but I just love the minis. And then we're going to make sure that is central on that top layer, like that. Make sure that folds round, and then we can tie it up there. But if I just get our gift card, so the gift card's going in here, so just going to start it off, and then once it goes in, I'm going to push it right in, and I'm just going to press around the edge like that. Can you see we've only just sort of got enough room for it to go in? And then so it just folds in. You could decorate these with more, I would say maybe pattern paper, because cardstock is then just going to make it. I'm not quite sure why that is a little bit shorter. Maybe my score line was a bit out. Can you see that panel? That shouldn't be, there shouldn't be that gap. Not quite sure why. These two panels should be the same distance, 2 7/8. It's just under 2 7/8. Maybe the depth of the gift card doesn't help. No, just check that when you do them, that they're both the same level. It doesn't really matter, to be fair. It's on the inside. And then we just tie that in a little knot. Double knot if you want to. Cut it a bit to length, but yeah, super cute. Hey, I did do another one. I did this one that would be more general, not for like with cute little animals on. So yeah, and I just love the fact that it's half a sheet of cardstock. So you can have a play around with those and use different layers. You've got all the measurements, use different layers of cardstock. I would love to see what you come up with. Right, how are we doing for time? Oh my gosh, 10:25. I need to get a wriggle on. Sophie's going to be having kittens and wondering where I am. Thank you so much for joining me. So obviously we also created these two cuties as well. So I will be back. I've done more with this. I've definitely done more. Obviously I'm going to be back here in 2 weeks' time. Unless you are on my stamping community group, I do sometimes pop up live there. I haven't been popping up live over the last sort of 3 weeks or more, just because I've been so busy with my retreat. So once my retreat is out of the way, then I will have a lot more time, because literally every bit of spare time has gone into my retreat on top of all my other classes as well. So thank you, everybody. Thank you for your kind words, and glad that you're liking these cute little creations. Okay, I will speak with you, some of you sooner than others, but if not, I'll be back here in a couple of weeks. So please take care, stay safe, and thank you for joining me. So bye for now.